Hi Trisha, my name is Molly and I just watched your very controversial video about free birth control. And I am making this video to explain a few things to you because I feel as though you are invested in beliefs that you haven't reflected upon critically. I agree with you in the sense that I do not think that birth control should be free because, like you said, that imposes a tax upon people who don't support it to pay for birth control of people who they don't know. It all depends on how large you want your government to be, and I get the impression that you want a small government, which I respect and understand. So this isn't so much in an attempt to tell you you're wrong about disagreeing with free birth control because that does come out of other people's pockets. However, I think that you have a lot of misconceptions about birth control and about how birth control works in a society. Okay, so the first problem I think that you have with this is you don't understand that it's unfair for you to be against a welfare state in which people receive benefits out of taxpayers' money simultaneously while being, you know, opposed to birth control. You can't you can't be opposed to a welfare state and birth control at the same time. Because without birth control, you'd have to pay a lot more taxes to pay for welfare because there would be a lot more people who couldn't support themselves. You should be grateful that people like me and millions of other women in America are on birth control because they aren't in a state in their life where they can financially take care of children. Because the second I stop taking birth control or millions of women stop taking birth control, it's possible that they could have a children that you might have to be paying for later on because I'm just going to be honest, I can't afford a child, so I would qualify for welfare. So I think it's a really, really unfair and unrealistic stance that you're both against a welfare system and birth control. Pick or choose, because you can't have both. Second of all, you say that you are vehemently against marriage before sex, and I respect that. That's your decision, and I think that you present that in a very respectful way, just stating your belief, which I like. But what happens when you're married and you're on birth control? Is that wrong too? Because basically, what I gather from what you're saying is that you should only have sex to have children, but that doesn't happen. And from your moral standpoint, it might be a great thing if people only had sex to have children, but they don't. People have sex most of the time for fun. They don't do it for kids. So, what happens when you're married and you have two kids and you want to go on birth control? Do you still think that's wrong? Basically, I think what you're doing, I don't think that your belief is that um, I don't think that your belief is that people should only have sex when they want children. I think your belief is that you don't respect people who don't have your morals. I think that this is a punitive opinion that you have, in the sense that I think a lot of, not to make sweeping generalizations, but I think a lot of, socially conservative people are like this. They aren't fighting for principles. They're fighting for punishing people who don't have their principles, because that's what it all boils down to, in my opinion. Um, there are a lot of people who need birth control because of other medications they're on, such as people on Accutane. You have to be taking birth control to be on Accutane. I am taking a lot of sleep medications because I have had lifelong insomnia, and sleeping medications are a part of my life. But I need to be on birth control because it's not safe for me to ever have the chance of getting pregnant. Say if I got raped and I suddenly had a baby, I'm already taking medications to help me with my medical problem that has been diagnosed. So then what? I'm on birth control not because I am careless with sex or because I'm lazy or that I'm irresponsible, but it's simply out of the fundamental principle that I can't have a children right now, financially or medically. I just can't. So that's why I'm on birth control. So I just, there's a lot that you don't understand. I agree with your stance that it shouldn't be free because when something is free, it's not free. It's being paid for by someone else other than the person it's given to. So I completely respect that. But your stance that is so embedded and invested in this moral cause is just, it doesn't make sense. It's nice in theory, but it doesn't have any practicality. So I think before you start, becoming invested in this moral belief, you need to think critically about what it means in a real world situation and how it applies to an entire society. I think that's the part of your opinion that is missing. You don't think critically and you become invested in a belief that simply can't apply to everyone in your country. However, I do respect your right to voice your opinion, and I think that, although a lot of people don't agree with you on this video, I think the mere fact that you are prompting a lot of discussion is a really good and healthy thing when it comes to situations like this. So thank you for expressing your belief and getting this conversation started. All right, thank you.